History moves me. So I get a lot of my stories from letters, slave narratives, pictures, buffalo soldiers, that kind of thing. Those of you who have read Indigo know that that whole book came out of 2 lines out of a book called Bullwhip Days. And it was a WPA project in the 30s, where they went and they interviewed the freed slaves that were still alive. And some of these people were 100 years old by then. And if you look in the section on love and romance in Bullwhip Days, you'll find a quote from a former slave who said she knew a man named Wyatt who was free, who sold himself into slavery for the love of a woman. And out of that, 3 lines, came one of my most famous books, which is Indigo, which is set in Washington County, Underground Railroad. So history moves me, which is why I give you a biblist in the back of all my books so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel if you want to do some more research on whether it's the Buffalo Soldiers, whether it's the all black towns in Kansas, whether it's the Black Civil War vets. I'm getting ready to do Black Pirates next, 18th century. So we're going to have some fun with that, but it'll be a new century for my fans. Let me clean my palette a little bit from the 19th century because we've got like 26 books set in that time period. So for me, it's history, pictures, diary excerpts. And I tell folks that everybody who is interested in any kind of African American history needs to have a book called We Are Your Sisters by Dorothy A. Sterling. Fabulous book. I get some of my ideas. I mean, if you look, like you were talking about the language, you know, if you look at these wonderfully, beautifully written, flowery letters, you know, and you compare to what Hollywood has us speaking. Because I had a woman who told me my first couple books, she said, black people don't talk like that.
Yeah, that's right.
And I said, you've been watching too many movies, honey.
Yeah.
So history moves me, and that's where I get most of my ideas. I have no discipline. You know, there's some people who, you know, write every day. I have girlfriends who, you know, get up at 3 in the morning and they'll write from 3 to 6, and then they'll go to work and they'll come home and they'll write, you know. For me, any distraction is a good distraction. I have a book due middle of October. I'm on page 50 right now. So I'm not going to see the month of September at all. But I'm like young sister here. You know, I have a general idea what the book is going to be about. I don't write linear. You know, I may write the end. The middle may come to me. I finally convinced my editor that, you know, well, 8 or 9 years ago, that I no longer need to do outlines. You know, they'll buy a book on a 3-sentence thing. Because for me, doing an outline takes the energy out of the story for me. If I have to put everything down and then show it to somebody and then get that approval, you know, for me the story's over. I want to go to the next book. So I tell, you know, and I speak a lot to aspiring writers, and I tell them, don't do what I do. But once the story starts flowing, you know, I may work 8, 9 days in a row, you know, no sleep, no food. My daughter will call me and say, Mother, when was the last time you had a shower? And she says, and if you have to think about it, get in the shower. You know, it's like the thing where they, you know, they put the food under the tape, under the door, you know, so I can. But I don't have a process. I don't have any discipline. But I write good books, so I don't know. Like I said, don't pay any attention to me and what I have to say. So I tell aspiring writers, don't quit your day job. Because it takes a while to make money. The first, I don't know, 8 years or so. My first book was published in '94. So for that first 7 or 8 years, I was blessed to have a husband who loved me madly. And I had my hand in his pocket down to his socks. Because you don't make money. You know, if you're doing mass market like, you know, like I do, and which is why I'm in so many genres. You know, sister got to pay a light bill. So I got to write a lot of books. If you're writing mass market, you're only making, you know, some people are making as low as 2% of what you pay at Myers. Some people are making 8%, some people are making 10%. When you're doing hardcover, you may hopefully get 15 to 20%. You know, publishers are going to keep all that money, as much money as they can. There's a big lawsuit now that's been in the arena for, I don't know, 15 years for foreign rights. You know, I got books in France, I got books in Germany, I got books in China, but nobody's making any money because the publishers say, well, you know, they sent us this check and they didn't break it down as to who gets what, so we keep everything. It's like, no, you know, so I'm making enough money now where it's a blessed life. But even if I wasn't making money, even if I wasn't published, I would still write. I'd put it on the Xerox machine, hand it out to my girlfriends, and still do this. But, you know, now I can, wintertime when people are out, you know, shoveling and scraping and, you know, out there on the roof they're trying to get to work, I'm in the house with my coffee and my pajamas, you know. But it's a blessing, and we all get different blessings, and this is mine. So, young sis, you keep writing. Keep writing. So, you know, okay. But my words are for any aspiring writers out in the audience. Keep writing. Don't give up. Keep your flame of hope alive. Because if it's meant to be, it will be. But it won't be if you give up. My first book, I got enough rejections probably to paper this whole block.
Oh, yes. That's for sure.
So you don't let anybody turn you around. So if you're an aspiring writer, just keep writing. Keep your nose to the grindstone, and you know, if you're good to people, you know, the muse will be good to you. So that's my final stop. Keep writing.